I'm your host, Bjorn Pink. I'm a podcaster, comedic improviser, and working actor living in New York City. We have a very special guest in the building, Kenan Thompson from SNL, also known as Saturday Night Live. If you don't already know, Kenan Thompson is a comedy legend, Emmy-winning comedian and actor, the longest-running cast member in Saturday Night Live history, good guy, and the husband and the father. Kenan, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man.
And thanks for that warm welcome.
Nice. How you feeling, brother?
I feel great, man. You know, it's a beautiful day outside finally.
Oh, no
Weather
doubt,
finally
yeah.
broke, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, 2 more shows and then the end of the season, so.
Yeah, maybe you could go on vacation.
Stuck in the grind. Maybe.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Gotcha. Can we get started?
Yeah.
Were you the class clown in high school?
Not really. I mean, I was always afraid of getting in trouble with my mom. You know what I mean? Like, my mom didn't play that, like, messing around in school type stuff or whatever. So I had my sense of humor and I would play around with my buddies, but it was kind of quiet. I didn't want a lot of attention.
Okay. Cool. As comedians and actors, we sometimes question our gift. On your early days doing SNL, can you recount such a time when you questioned your own abilities?
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, we're constantly questioning our abilities when things go wrong. You know what I'm saying? You write something that's lame, it's like, okay, well, shit, I thought that was funny, so maybe I'm a little off or whatever. But especially, you know, being a starving artist as well, it's like, should I be doing this? You know what I mean? Is there, you know, is the universe trying to tell me I'm no good or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, you got to carve your own lane sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And believe in yourself, because if you don't believe, then it's harder to convince people to believe in you, you know what I mean? So you try to just keep that in mind. But yeah, like it took me a while to feel comfortable at Saturday night, like at least 4 seasons before I felt like I didn't have to worry about that summer phone call, you know what I mean? Like first 3 seasons, I was like, you know, kind of like doing things here and there, but I had never really written anything, you know, that came from me yet, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I didn't really feel solidified until that happened, and that was like really around season 5, honestly.
So, season 5 was when you wrote something and it got picked up?
Yeah.
A sketch or something? Yeah.
Yeah, like a recurring sketch, yeah.
So that's kind of when you know, when you get on SNL, that's kind of when you know you're like, you won't get the summer phone call.
I mean, they call you every summer, you know what I mean, to tell you yay or nay, but I stopped worrying about it, you know what I mean?
I
was just like, yeah, I'm probably coming back because, you know, I'm starting to find my groove. They need me, you know what I mean? Like, blah,
you're
blah.
adding to the community.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because if you're just acting on SNL and you're not writing sketches, then they could be like,
Yeah, depending on how many people like you or feel like you're contributing to the show in other kind of ways. Like, you know, everybody likes him, you know what I mean? Everybody likes being around him.
Don't fire him.
The office so happy. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? And he does service the show when you write stuff for him or whatever. And then, you know, there's been a lot of cast members that don't necessarily write, you know, so it's just all different processes. Like people sit with writers and go through things back and forth. Some people would rather, you know, write on their own, and some people just want to give notes on his feet. You know what I mean? It's just different people work different ways. But the most important thing is nailing Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like you nail Saturday, then it's obvious what you're there for, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense, yeah. How did you go through your tough times? Like,
man.
Did you pray? Like,
yeah, I mean, a lot of like, you know, checking back in with what I know to be funny. Like, so when me and my brother talk, or me and my sister talk, or me and my family talk, and it's like, we start laughing about things that make us laugh, and it's like, all right, well, that's where my sense of humor is at. I just need to figure out a way to explain why that's funny to me so everybody else can enjoy it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you have to do there. You got to like, especially when you have a quirkier sense of humor, not that mine is too quirky, but it's not, you know, the overall subject matter of SNL. You know what I'm saying? Like the overall subject matter is like broadly American, which is, as you know, if you want to say broadly white, you know what I mean? So coming from a black, you know, background, I have to explain why this reference from Coming to America might make me laugh. And
Yeah.
you should laugh at it the same kind of way. You know what I
You
mean?
ain't see Coming to America?
They see it, but like sometimes they don't relate to it the way they should because they don't have all the background around it.
I got you. Yeah.
Same way they make, a Beatles joke. I didn't know who, what's his name? George Harrison was. Jen, our stage manager, had a George Harrison button on and it said Beatles. But I didn't recognize the George Harrison. I was like, "Who's that?" She was like, "You don't know who George Harrison is?" I was like,
"That's real."
No, and I was well into my late 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things you got to figure out how to explain you to the world, basically.
I hear you. Thank you. What do you love about the industry?
I mean, just the opportunity to put yourself and put your perspective into the world. Like, there's so many different ways to do it: stand-up, improv, whatever. But, acting on the other side of it too. So it's kind of, artistic expression, just like painting or music or, building furniture or whatever. It's just, if you're a creative person, you need that output. And that's what the business gives us. There's a lot of nonsensical type projects out there, and then there's some real dope ones. So you try to walk that happy medium line or whatever, but it's a tough business at the same time.
Yeah, real tough. Are there things you wish you could change about the industry?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It seems like there's so many people in between the artist and the audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's all dwindling down with, the more like Netflix and Hulu's and Amazons start popping up, it gets a little like less interference, it seems like, because there are so many outlets. There's just like too much going on for people to be in the way. You know what I'm saying? There's too much opportunity, basically. You know what I'm saying? For people to just be like, oh, I don't know about that, and trying to give these bullshit notes just to justify their position. Or whatever. You know what I mean? So less of that would be great.
Yeah. Nah, that's a good point, because as time goes on, there'll be hopefully less gatekeepers, or the gatekeepers will transform into something.
Yeah, man, and it's like gatekeeping it should be such almost like a curse word, you know what I mean? Because you're in the way of an artist trying to express himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't do that. Like, an artist paints, and if he gets notoriety, it won't be because people gave him notes. You know what I'm saying? It'll be because people notice that he's dope.
Exactly.
And they'll tell their friends, and then they tell their friends, and that's how shit should be, as opposed to like. But then you're dealing with other people's money. Like when an artist, I guess, is, up under somebody like Basquiat was up under somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That person saw the potential in him or whatever. But for actors and, script writers and, television writers and things like that, you're using other people's money pretty much every single time. So there's going to be some level of some level of that.
What are some of your hobbies outside of acting?
I like sports, sports and, playing with the babies and cars and, usual guy stuff, basically.
Yeah.
But road tripping but I don't have a lot of time outside of work right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting kind of busy, which is good. But, I wish I sculpted or something like that, but I don't.
Gotcha.
I watch a lot of TV. That's one of my main hobbies, is watching TV.
Gotcha. Well, you can it's a part of your training.
Part of my business, man. I made it part of my business to just chill.
That actually, like, do you feel like you would ever take a comedy class or like?
I want to. I just don't know when I have the time. But I always would have loved to three things: live a stand-up life if I was gonna do that. You know what I mean? So I would have some kind of perspective when I go do stand-up shows and shit like that. You know what I mean? And be like, I hate this, or this gets on my nerves, and I don't know. I like a lot of things, so it's hard to be a stand-up when you like everything.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? You gotta be pointing out things that everybody else can be like, yeah, I hate that too, and cheer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be like, I like pizza as well. What are we doing? So between that, actually living in a dorm in a college, I never got to do that because I went to City College and I was just working.
You went to City College?
Yeah, Santa Monica.
Okay.
or whatever. But
Yeah.
I was trying to transfer to UCLA.
Okay.
I got accepted, but I didn't get a scholarship, so it was too expensive to go as an out-of-state resident.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to live in California for a year so I could go as an in-state resident.
Mm.
But my mom didn't want me to take a year between high school and college because that's where a lot of people like never go back type shit or whatever. So I wound up at Santa Monica because they were the #1 transfer school to UCLA's film school, but it was just like high school all over pretty much. And I got kind of annoyed and distracted by it. And the start of my junior year, I went to like ask them how much longer it would be before I could transfer because it was only supposed to be a 2-year thing, and they told me I was still a freshman. So that's fucked up. And yeah, they just kept taking my money without like guiding me in any kind of way.
What was the name of this college?
Santa Monica College, Santa Monica City College.
Oh, wow.
I can't put it on them. It's on you.
Yeah,
that's what college teaches you. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't afford to get you right now. Yeah.
But I was mad. I'm like, y'all couldn't have like called me at least after noticing a pattern of like incompletes and stuff like that. Like, what's going on? Like, is there a way that we can curtail the curriculum or try to steer your attention? And it was none of that. So I was just like, well, I'm already working. So I just left school. But
I got you.
that's one hang up. And then another one is like, improv school or something like UCB and Groundlings. I think they all have like great skills. I've learned them being around them, but it'd be nice to like sit in the class and like see what the formula is like written out or whatever.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. What qualities do other comedians have that you admire?
I mean, confidence is always key. The whole like, don't ever let them see you sweat type shit. But the biggest, as far as stand-ups is concerned, is having that perspective. You know what I mean? Once you have that perspective, it's like a launching point. You can talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? But it comes from a place of like an everyday person's observation, basically. So once you have that, you can like relate pretty much to the entire audience because the grocery store line sucks and blah. Like I had to get those experiences much later in life once I actually started being a normal person, what I mean, and having kids and like going to the grocery store often or flying with kids and like all kind of shit that other people can actually relate to. Nobody can really relate to like, oh, I'm on set 14 hours a day and I'm so tired and blah blah blah. Like nobody cares. They just like they would rather care if they knew what their feeling was like, but if they can't relate, it's like there's no point to it. You know what I mean? It's like talking about playing the bass in a room full of drummers. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, you're just spinning your wheels basically.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I was actually going to ask you about that. Even when I'm on set with you, doing background or whatever, I see you like whip out pictures of your kids and like you really love them.
Oh yeah.
I would hope. But like, while you were talking about your kids, did they give you a certain level of freedom or like, it's hard to word it properly, but it seems like, I don't know, like
a fearlessness in a way. Like once you become a father, like your fear is directed towards something that would happen to them as opposed to anything that would happen to yourself.
Yeah.
That's one thing that it definitely gave me. So I look at Saturday night and like, all of performing basically. Like I went to the Emmys for the first time and like wound up singing the opening song and giving away the last award. And it was just like an extreme experience for somebody's first time,
Yeah.
But I look at all of that like, at the end of the day, these babies gonna be getting up at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow, regardless of what's happening today. You know what I mean? And I gotta make sure that they're straight.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I don't know exactly where the pressure is more, because if something happens to them, I really couldn't live with myself. Like a bad show, critics, Twitter fingers and all that. It's like I don't know. It's hard to gauge the two, but fatherhood definitely took a lot of that fear away. I still get nervous, because I guess it's a sign of caring from what Leslie Jones says.
Yeah.
But then Michael Jackson says if you're prepared, there's no reason to be nervous. So it's like,
Leslie Jackson.
You take it all. Every little piece of wisdom that you can take.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna do 30 to 45 second lightning round. Yeah. I know you're like a master improviser. I saw you in Ellen.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah. So we got Obama, Steve Harvey, and you gotta do a Leslie Jones impression, if you don't mind. You could pick. You could start with. You have 30 to 45 seconds for any one of them.
Well, I mean, Obama. I like Obama because he's very distinct in what he says. Thoughtful person, subdued, but you listen to him. You know, like Jerry Seinfeld came over and had coffee with me at the White House. It was a wonderful thing. But Michelle, if she knew that I wanted to run again, she'd kill me. He's that guy. And then Steve is from Cleveland, but he just sounds very Southern to me when he talks. I mean, there's a lot of like country up north people, I guess, from the Mississippi migration, you know what I mean, between like Cleveland and Chicago. Yeah. So it's always weird when I hear Chicago people that are very country, you know, because Steve is very country. He's like, you know, he gets real excited when hey, let me tell you, when I say, and then, you know, he has larger teeth, so it seems like there's a mouthful. So I start talking where it's like I got stuff in my mouth a little bit, and then I think about that mustache that makes me smile. So I always play him very jolly, just because he's just a big giant, you know, ball of character, just like Barkley. Like I play all those people like very jolly, just because they're so distinct in their presence and their sound, you know what I mean, and the way they talk and blah blah blah. It's just very interesting to me. So I always play Steve up here. You know what I'm saying? I'll always, because he just seemed like a little rascal to me. And then Leslie, Leslie's just like dynamite. I don't know. I spent so much time. It's hard to do a Leslie Jones impression. Like, I gotta work on that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to do a bad one.
Yeah. Please, you work with her.
Yeah, I'm Leslie Jones, bitch, but it's just me doing that.
I mean, you can pick
mannerism. Yeah, okay, but that's like typical. Yeah. Like, you know.
You can pick a new one for the third.
Cali hood one. A different one for the third one. I don't know. I think you'd have to give it to me. Now I'm stuck on this Leslie Jones because I want to do it.
Can you do a black truth?
That's her laugh. Her laugh is laugh. That's her laugh. I got that part. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, Dave Chappelle, who's just like way down. But now that's how he used to talk when he was on the show. When he was on the show, baby, it was way up in here. But now, since he's been like smoking for a while, it's like down in there. Yeah. He watches Netflix special. These motherfuckers was trying to tell me. So I live around the whites. I live around the broke whites. Shit like that. That's my Dave Chappelle.
Got you. I actually want to jump in and play with you myself. I'm going to be the eccentric Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica, Kingston, the island.
Nice.
Not Jamaica, Queens. So I'm going to play the eccentric Jamaican meets Kenan Thompson.
Okay.
Just like less than a minute.
Yeah.
Excuse me, big man. How you do?
Yeah.
Are you named Kenan Thompson?
Yeah.
Me can get an autograph?
What's that?
Autograph.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, and please, sir. Oh, hold on.
Who you want me to make it out to?
Glenroy.
Glenroy.
Yeah, Glenroy.
Glenroy.
Hold on, though. My mother called me.
Oh, your mother called you?
Yeah, man. Mommy, guess who me I talk to?
Yeah.
Another one named Kenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live. Hold on.
Yeah.
Ask him for $1 million?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Not
on hand.
Huh?
I don't have $1 million.
You don't have $1 million on hand? Okay.
No, it's
Mommy,
tied up in lots of different stuff.
Got you. Okay. Well, mommy, you said you don't have that, but he might give me an autograph.
Yeah, and a tin of sardine and a bread.
A bread?
Yeah.
A tin of sardine and a bread?
Yeah. I got that from Shatters. That's my only that I know.
And we're done. Yeah. I mean? But now I have some more questions, but we're done off of that. Thank you for that.
No, thank you.
You watch Shatters?
Short. Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. With Bob Marley's son and yeah. What do you want your comedy legacy to be?
I mean, I've been asked that before, but like doing it the right way is highly important. You know what I mean? When people look back and they want them to say like, nah, he did it right.
Yeah.
You know, treat people with respect.
Amen.
Be professional. Show up. Destroy it if you can. You know what I mean? There ain't no half stepping, especially with Saturday night, because any half steps get cut and they land on the floor. You know, you've been there and you've been like, I thought that was decent, but it got cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Some shit needs to be polished. Shit needs to be no joke.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to be known as like, you know, good dude, treats people with respect and hard working. You know, straight up.
How have you been able to be so humble after all these years?
I've been in the business a long time, and it's like just now starting to get sweet. You know what I mean? Like that whole Nickelodeon run was cool, but you know, I still had like financial issues. You know what I mean, to deal with. Becoming a grown man and becoming responsible for my life or whatever. So I also started becoming famous later in life. Like I did my first movie when I was like 15th birthday, you know what I mean? So by the time you're 15, you're already pretty much who you gonna be, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? So as far as like manners is concerned, and you know, also like it's not like I come from a family of, you know, Hollywood legends or anything like that. So I'm always just humbled from not wanting to be an asshole every time I go around my family, you know what I mean? For holidays and this, that, and the other. They, you know, a lot of them doing bad or just getting by or whatever. Nobody's like, you know, Dionne Warwick and Whitney Houston or, you know, a family like that, or the Kardashians. And, you know what I mean? I'm the only one, you know what I'm saying? Wow. And like, they are all, like our younger generation of cousins are all into, you know, different things now. But like all my uncles and like my parents, they come from very humble beginnings, you know? So yeah. That always helped me keep it real. And then, you know, I've noticed how tough life is and is getting for a lot of people, that I can't just ignore that just because I don't share the same financial burden like that. You know what I mean? Wow. So I kind of do, because I have to take care of all these people. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just be like, everything is, you know, sweet when, you know, the closest people around me are, you know, almost struggling. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, a reality of being in this America, you know what I mean? Yeah. As opposed to, you know, growing up as like a third generation famous person or rich person. You know, I don't come from that. Like, I'm thankful for everything that I've been able to attain in this life or whatever, but none was given. You know, it's all been like, you know, be the first one on the meal, basically. Otherwise, you're gonna be left with the scraps and shit like that. And just having that like hustle mentality from a young age, like get up out the house and go do something, because you ain't gonna just be sitting up around here. I hear you.
Yeah. Nah, that's so real, man.
Oh yeah. There wasn't no car waiting for me on my 16th birthday. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no sweet 16, none of that. I've never received a car wrapped in a ribbon or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I've always bought my cars. Me. Like, I've never been given nothing. So, it's just how it is. Yeah.
How would the older Kenan advise the younger Kenan as it pertains to acting? And is there anything the younger Kenan could tell the older one?
Yeah, a lot of that vice versa. Like, I would say me looking at my younger self, I would tell my younger self, just don't be so quick to quit things. You know what I mean? Like, I used to like lose interest in stuff and just quit it and walk away from it without exploring the possibilities. And like, I never really had to deal with not cutting things off until I met my wife, you know what I mean? And it was like, I wonder how many things that I violated in life just being like, oh, I don't need to deal with this, and just cut it off, you know what I'm saying? So she taught me a lot in that aspect. And then my younger self would tell my older self probably just to stay off your knees, because they're going to start getting sore after a while. And it's just part of life, but, you know, but also don't lose the fun in it, you know what I mean? Like, just because you've done it so many times, like, or the fact that it's, you know, an older institution of something like SNL, it's still fun, you know, still, you know, or even the Emmys, like, it's an older institutional way of doing things by giving out awards and shit like that. But the fact that it's happening, that's how I was looking at that Met Gala. I was like, so I'm wondering, like, what exactly are they fundraising for, and how is it really helping the community? But then I let it go, and I was like, I kind of understand the reasoning for kind of the extravagance at the same time. You know what I mean? Because it does feed the community, it does feed the artistry and the creativity, and it puts a lot of people to work around that one event, and blah, blah, blah. So it, you know, I'm sure it has its way of offsetting. It just does seem like highly wasteful, you know what I mean? At the same time, like that carpet's probably getting thrown in the trash. Like all those, you know, decorations and blah, blah, where's that shit going? And, you know, but at the same time, can't, you know, one nation can't heal the entire world, and one nation can't save the world. And we can only do what we can do. And, you know, it pushes our economy in a good direction just by keeping us, you know, on the, you know, wanting to attain, you know, a life of nice things, basically. Designer things designed by people, being made up, you know, going to a nice party, being surrounded by other like-minded type people. All that stuff is, you know, positive type things. So I try not to be such a downer and look at everything like, what exactly is this all for? Because we can't all just sit up in the house, you know what I mean, and recycle. Like, at the same time, we need to recycle and do these other things at the same time and try to, you know, find a balance. And that's where I was at with that.
I take it you've been to the Met Gala?
Never, but I've always looked at things like that, like even like award shows and shit like that. It's like, okay, so who exactly is this helping? You know
I got you.
But, you know, they do a lot of fundraising around those weekends and stuff like that at the same time. So bringing all of those like powerful people together, you know, it's a good thing. It's just not as clear, you know, how it's trickling down. But
I got you.
I guess you can do your research and follow it closer. But for me, just a regular Joe, like watching the news basically, or Instagram and watching all these extravagant creative ideas and dresses and outfits, it's like, all right, well, you know, there's people that can't find like clean water.
For sure.
What I mean? So it's like,
have you gotten an invite?
I don't think so. I'm not really, you know, overly. I wasn't there for a long time. I would hated tuxedos and all that. I used to skip all those events. That's why I never been to the Emmys before last year.
Gotcha.
Because I just hated it, and I felt like there was no reason. I wanted to go when I was invited because I was nominated, not just because I was tagging along. Because SNL was always getting nominated, or the writers were always getting nominated, or whatever.
Yeah, nah, that's dope, bro. Any advice for comedians who aspire to be on SNL?
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody's path is different, you know, so you just have to like try to get in a position to where you can be chosen from. I know they choose a lot from the Groundlings, they choose a lot from Second City, they choose a lot from UCB and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, they choose a lot from stand-up, but stand-up is such a, you know, crowded place because kind of anybody can grab an open mic and go up there, you know what I mean? So to make a name for yourself, you have to spend so much time, you know what I mean, putting in that work. But, you know, I did the same thing, putting in work on something else before I was even of caliber to audition for SNL at the same time. So it's kind of 10 years down the road of something before you can be, you know, in the position to be considered and shit like that. So patience is a virtue, but also know where to position yourself so you can be in the best place possible when they do come choosing, you know what I mean? And be ready when that door, you know, it's a slim crack in the door. You know, you got to squeeze through, and you got to be ready to do so.
Is all that making a comeback?
Oh yeah, they rebooting right now. They just had the table read yesterday or the day before. So
in LA or in New York?
In LA. Yeah.
Oh wow, are you executive producer?
I am, along with Kel Mitchell.
Oh wow. What does he mean to you?
It's my brother.
Oh,
you know, it's my lifelong brother. You know, it's not like we can go through this world and deny each other. Like we, you know, spent an awesome amount of time together, and in that time, we created things that people love to this day. You know what I'm saying? Sure. That's a special thing. It's a special bond. He also makes me laugh harder than a lot of people. So, you know, I never want to just toss that to wind either. You know?
I got
so,
you. Yeah.
I know his family, he knows mine.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, that's my brother.
Nah, that's just is that like an Atlanta thing? Like, it seems like there's like real solidarity. I've never been. I've been all over the world. But
Atlanta's very pro-black.
Mm.
Yeah. So is Chicago. I would say Chicago is way more militant than Atlanta is. Like,
Gotcha.
you know, because they had like real, you know, Fred Hampton incidents and shit like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, Atlanta was, you know, the capital of the Confederacy at the same time. So it's very real down there. The black people stick with the black people, and, you know, on the other side is whoever else is on the other side. So that's just how it is.
Got you.